So Toastmaster Jeetendra, you had mentioned about how you help these women. We would like to know in what form is this help being provided? So do you conduct any seminars or workshop? How is this carried on?
Yeah, right. So with the NGO that I'm associated with, they have a training center wherein all the women come on a pre-decided schedule for their respective training. So let's say in a batch of 25 students, there would be 10 women who would be training for nursing. Five of them would be doing embroidery or something else. So they already come to the center at a pre-decided schedule. And whenever we have common time during the weekend, which is usually Saturdays between 3 to 6 p.m., we do this session wherein we have a lot of educational materials at the center itself, like a whiteboard and marker and some rough pages to practice. So we do it at the center itself, yeah. And we have to find a common time because one of the problems that we also have is that there are some water schedules, there are some school schedules that the women also need to cater to. So, accordingly, we have to find that common space, not just with their classes, but also about when the water supply is going to come, when their kids are going to be, out of school and so on. So, yeah. And I'm talking about this being before the virtual world took us over, which is before the COVID pandemic. During the COVID pandemic, unfortunately, we've not been able to carry this forward because most of the women, either they don't have a smartphone or they have one smartphone in the family, so on.
Indeed, so many of these things we just take it for granted as they are so easily available to us. So you mentioned about this NGO. So
Right.
if anyone is interested to volunteer, they can just go up to the NGO and volunteer for the same thing.
Yes, I think that should be allowed. It's called Kherwadi Social Welfare Association. They are present in Maharashtra mainly, and they have, I think, about 20-30 centers in Bombay itself. I used to go to the Vikhroli Center, Vikhroli Park side. Yeah.
Okay. That was really interesting hearing about your experience and the way it was conducted, and I'm sure it is really contributing from your side to help bridge up this gap. And with that, I would like to come to Toastmaster Deepak. Toastmaster Deepak, would you like to give us few tips or share some acts through which we can include these sections in the mainstream and help to bridge up this gap?
Thank you, Toastmaster Madhura. So everyone have like weekends, right? Saturday and Sundays. I know that it's a family time and movie time and all other stuff. But it is only 1 or 2 hour session going, whatever. Like you may be good in finance, you may be good in maths, you may be good in public speaking, you may be good in acting, anything. You maybe have that good strength. So the apprenticeship project, you can just fill the form and just volunteering for them. And only it is on weekends because like most of the schools only give that much particular time because every weekdays it is not possible at all. So on Saturdays and Saturday Sunday it's both some schools have like Sundays also working and Saturdays off, so vice versa. So it goes likewise. So it's in Mumbai, Pune right now. So like they have right now due to COVID, it's online. So they have started online also. They have like makerspace, public speaking, drama, and coding, electronics, etc. So acting, drama. So they have also that also thing. So there are two aspects to it. So there are like one particular cohort needs two people, two support members. Like one is the like evaluating, second is the taking that whole session. So evaluating person will be not taking that session, and session will be not taking the evaluating the whole stuff. So like you can just there is an like online platform where you need to give grades. So that is a simple act which we can do that. So like if any kid is not doing good, so you need to comment on that particular subject or particular section. So you need to just do it, and it takes around like 30 minutes max in a daytime or like weekend. So that's the how you can do it. That is the first thing. And the second, if you don't have time, like you have committed to another thing. So this organization go in donation. It's a non-profit organization. It goes purely on donations. So the second thing is like you can donate to this organization. They have their campaign running on in the whole year. So you can contribute it. And also when you contribute particular amount, X amount, they will also give you the whole year where exactly it is going on, which child or kid is we are going ahead and giving that all facilities. So it can be a books, it can be a stationery, it can be anything. So they give you whole list, and every quarterly they contact you, they will ask you exactly, they give the improvement of the kid, the family backgrounds and etc. So whole thing they are given, and they have that whole what we call report card for the donators. So that is second thing which we can donate and also include in our society and help them.
That was really great, and thank you for sharing those great tips. And many a times we actually talk about, just by mere hard work, they can actually be brought to the same level. But we forget the kind of resources we have access to is something they don't have usually. And I think by doing this pious work, by contributing them to teaching these skills, these resources, which we have access to very easily, but they don't, it would be really helpful for them and as whole, as a whole for the society as well.
So, starting with you, Toastmaster Jeetendra, I just want to ask, you have did this much for the women, you have taught them financial planning, how to do that. So, what is your learning from this whole process, if you can share with us?
Sure. So, Chakradhar, there have been many things that I've learned about people in general, but I think the learning for me has been about women, mothers, how they think, how they operate. Because let me give you a short example. Okay, so we do this exercise called needs versus wants, wherein how we start is we give them a blank sheet of paper and we tell them you have all the money in the world. Okay, now write down 25 things that you want, right? That you wish you would have. If you had all the money in the world, you would spend your money on this, right? So they will list down the 25 things. Populating the list is very easy, right? And then the second part of the exercise is we make them cancel 8 things at a time,
Okay.
So we'll first tell them that, okay, now you have to cut off 5 things from the list. You can't have those. Okay, which 5 would you cut? And that way we come down 25 to 5. So this way, what we're trying to convey, the message that we're trying to convey is prioritization and differentiating between what you really need versus want, okay, between needs and desires. So there was this one session wherein this woman had written down 2 things. One was cell phone for herself, a smartphone for herself, and the second thing she had written down was smartphone for her son, who is going to college or something like that. And when we started cancelling off things, I think in the first 5 only she cut off cell phone for myself, She had cancelled that, and she really made every effort to make sure that smartphone for her son was there in the last 5 things that were going to stay on that list. Though she was not able to, because there were some other things that were above in priority for her. But she made sure that it was there in the top 10, and then only when it was extremely not possible to carry it further, she cancelled it out. So I just got to learn that one big thing, that mothers will sacrifice so much that she let go of her smartphone, way before her son. So yeah, that was one big learning moment for me. And then I had to come back and give my mother a big hug. That if such a moment would arrive, I know she would place me above herself.
Definitely, yes. Thank you, Toastmaster Jeetendra. So coming to Toastmaster Deepak, I understand that you would have given a lot of learning to the kids, but then kids would have shared something with you which would have touched your heart, that this is something I should include in my life. So what is your learning from the whole thing, or whatever whole journey of you with kids, if you can share with us?
There are like many learnings as such. Every day is a learning. So before public speaking, the listening skill is the most important point.
Great.
And as there is a one activity I used to do before going into the class is what you call the clap sessions, which I call. Which is called as we know concentration, right? What do you mean by the word concentration, right? It's not like word of telling the meaning like what is concentration. And so I used to do some activity which is called you can also join it and we can do together. So I say 1, you will clap 1. I say 2, you will clap 2. So I will say 3, you will clap 3. So you need to do and you need to synchronize it. So all should do once at a one time. So I will be doing it. So you will see the lesson in the end. I will be telling you about the learnings.
Okay. Yeah. So let's do it.
Yeah. 1. Jeetendra and Toastmaster Raghavan, can you unmute yourself? Unmute.
Sorry.
Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, 0, Yeah, that is one thing that noticed out. So what happens, like it's in online session, it's very difficult, because what happens, like as I say one, it goes one, as I say two, then the speed increases, or like it's a clapping session. So we go on and do it. So as I said, zero also, we clap it. It's in subconscious mind. Like, so that is one thing which I thought and I learned is something which is like related to concept. It's not about giving a word, it's about doing an activity. So that is one thing. And second thing which I want to tell about the incident is about like all we are like in Toastmasters are public speaking. So we have scripts in hand, we write scripts and draft speeches. So every time we go before any speech before the delivery, we go through the speeches. So there was one kid in a TED platform. So what happened? He like did the whole session. So he practiced the whole script day and night for the 2 days, and he kept it under the pillow. And on the day of that event, he forgot that script. I told, like, how can you forget? Yeah, so that was an incident. So and he was not nervous. I was nervous because I thought him. So he might fumble, or he might he might forget the speech. So at last he went on, he practiced a lot, and he went and he was one of the best speakers in that event. So that is the second lesson, that taking that challenges, nevertheless, like it's not as life is unscripted. So we need to go ahead and take challenges. So that was the second lesson.
Yes, life is unscripted and show must go on. It shouldn't stop anywhere, right? Great, Larry. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Deepak. And over to you, Toastmaster Madhura. You want to add something or? Done?